Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to another one of my bread videos. And before I get started, I'd like to wish every one of you a very happy new year for 2020. And in this one, I'll be making this very easy to do recipe, cheese and chive rolls. And also, this is another one that uses the no knead technique. You can view the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. I'll leave a link in the description under the video, or you can click on the eye icon top right of the screen to take you directly to the recipe page. Before I go any further, I'd like to give a quick shout out to this week's Patreon and PayPal donators, and they are Jonathan Olsen, Karen and Adam Connor, Jack Daniels, Amanda Snape, Hamizah Abu Bakr, Noman The, Asa Stallard, Annette Richter, Paul Warrender, Dean Newman, Steve Lee, Elena and Ava Dakos, and Patty McConnell, and there's also one who wishes to remain anonymous. Thanks again, guys, I really do appreciate all your support. And with that out of the way, let's get on with today's recipe. For this one I'll be using 15 grams of fresh yeast for a change, but if you use only dried yeast you'll need 1 teaspoon, that's 4 grams of instant or active dried yeast, and that is used in exactly the same way as the fresh. Always test your yeast before you start any bread recipe. I've already tested mine and it's fine, so I'll dissolve it in the water, and the temperature of the water is around 40 degrees Celsius, that's 104 Fahrenheit. Okay, I'll give that a good mix to make sure it's all dissolved. Do the same if you're using dried yeast, and I'll set it aside until I need it. Next step is to add the bread flour to a warm bowl, followed by the salt. Next to go in is the chopped chives. I just snip a bunch of these using scissors at about 1/4 inch, that's 6 millimeters long. The chives gives the rolls a wonderful mild onion flavour. And now add the grated cheese. You can use any of the hard cheeses really, but I recommend a good strong cheddar, or here I'm using a red Leicester for mine, as its darker colour shows up great in these rolls. Now thoroughly mix all of those ingredients together until everything is evenly distributed throughout. Time to add the liquid, but before I do, I'll whisk the oil into the yeast mixture first. It'll be more evenly distributed that way. Now I'll add the liquid to the bowl, and to mix it I'll be using my trusty wooden spoon handle. If you want one of these, they're on sale in the website shop along with loads of other stuff that I use in the videos. And believe it or not, I've been using this one at home for over 30 years, so you will get your money's worth out of it. Right, I'll mix all that together until I have a shaggy mass. This is quite a sticky dough, about 74% hydration, so it's very important you get the quantities right. Use your digital scales for all the measurements, including the water. And one little hygiene tip here, try not to wear jewellery when cooking, especially if you work in a commercial kitchen. I didn't realise my watch was still on at this point, but I did take it off a little later. Now cover the bowl, and I use a shower cap for this. These are also on sale on the website too if you want one. Now let that prove for 30 minutes until it doubles in size. This time may vary depending on the temperature of your kitchen. FYI, my kitchen is around 22 degrees Celsius, that's 72 Fahrenheit today. And as this is a no knead recipe, this is the first of 2 rises in the bowl. Okay, that's the first rise done, and as you can see it has doubled in size. What you do now is scrape it out onto a slightly wet surface as shown, and with wet hands give the dough a few turns. Just make sure that your hands are wet, or this dough will stick to dry hands, just like in my baguette videos. Don't add any flour at this point. After about 5 or 6 turns, get it back into the bowl, have a little clean up and cover it, and this time give it 45 minutes to proof or rise. To bake the rolls on, I'm using this baking tray. The dimensions are on screen. I'm using lard to grease mine, but you can use shortening or oil to do yours. You can even use parchment paper if you want. Right, the time's up on the second proof, and as you can see, once again, it's well risen. Make sure you've got your grease tray ready next to where you're working on the dough. This time, turn it out onto a floured surface and sprinkle a little flour on the dough. Now knock it back, that means just to get all the gas out of it, and add a little more flour if necessary, and form it into a rectangle shape. Now once that's done, you can divide the dough into 4, 6 or 8 rolls. I'm doing 4 out of this batch, but I will show you what 6 looks like a little later from another batch I did. Right, along with the flour sprinkler, these great baker scrapers are also available in the website shop. If you're serious about baking, you should really have 2 of these scrapers in your toolkit. You can either weigh them or just eyeball them. I'll just guess mine, seeing as it's only 4 large rolls, which is probably why I ended up with 2 slightly larger than the other 2. Now this is about the only slightly tricky part of this recipe. The inside of the dough is still pretty sticky, so just add a little more flour when necessary, but use as little as possible. And if you need to, use your scraper to help pick the dough balls up to transfer them to your baking tray. If you want to learn this rolling technique, check out my dinner roll video. I'll leave a link in the description box below, or just click the eye icon top right of your screen, which will take you directly to that video. And just pop any gas bubbles that appear on the surface of the roll. Okay, once they're evenly spaced out on the tray, cover them with a lightweight dry cloth and set your timer for 30 minutes. Once again, this time may vary depending on the temperature of your kitchen. And once again, my kitchen is around 22 degrees Celsius, that's about 72 Fahrenheit. When there's only about 15 minutes left on the final rise, I preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, that's 392 Fahrenheit, or gas mark 6. I'm setting mine to 180 Celsius because my oven's fan assisted and it runs about 20 degrees hotter than indicated on the dial. You'll also need a pan of water in the oven. This will create a steamy atmosphere and give the rolls a slightly crispier crust. Right, time's up and these are ready to bake. But before they go into the oven, I'll grate a little cheese on the top of each roll using a fine grater. And as it bakes with the bread, it turns a little crispy too. Once they're in the preheated oven, I'll set the timer for 20 minutes. And while that's cooking, I hope you don't mind if I give my very first recipe book a bit of a plug. The book has lots of our favourite recipes from our work kitchens in it, and is available in the channel's website shop, along with loads of other equipment I use in the videos. It's just another way you can support the channel. I'll leave a link in the description box below the video, or just click on the eye icon top right of your screen if you want to order a copy today. Okay, the time's up and they're looking wonderful. And the smell of baking bread and toasted cheese in my kitchen is absolutely fantastic. Now I'll get these beauties on a wire rack and allow them to completely cool before I let you see what they're like on the inside. And this is what 6 rolls looks like from exactly the same recipe, going in and coming out of the oven, only I weighed each one of these, so they're much more uniform in size and shape. Right, it's been about 20 minutes since they came out of the oven, and as you can hear, they have a slightly crispy crust but not too hard. If you want a harder crust, you could leave them in the oven for an extra 4 to 5 minutes, but I prefer them just like this. The crumb on the inside is light and soft, with the cheese and chives dotted evenly throughout, and the smell of the cheese, bread and the slight onion aroma from the chives is truly amazing. Right, time to have a taste with a little butter. And they are absolutely delicious and ideal for making sandwiches. These are fantastic and very easy to make, and definitely gets a big thumbs up for my very first recipe of the year. And once again, please consider supporting my Patreon appeal for as little as $2 per month. Or if you prefer, you can make a one-off small donation using my PayPal page. It really does go a long way towards ingredients and production costs, as every penny pledged goes back into my videos. And whether you've donated or not, thanks again for your wonderful support in watching the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in the kitchen and bye for now.